Hey everyone, I thought I'd make a short video on CyberChef. It's something pretty powerful, I'm sure a lot of people know about, but it has a learning curve to it, and I wanted to show you guys some of the most useful features that help me during my daily web application testing. Let's start with the most common one, decoding base64. So if you have a JSON object, right, or in the body that you want to decode separately. Let's say here in the code and the notes and in the comments, they're all individually base64 encoded. If we just drop in from base64, CyberChef will decode the entire input. And so I wanted to show you the advanced way of using this. We could capture the specific text with regular expressions. So with a regular expression, you could tell CyberChef, hey, I need you to capture this specific part of the input and run a decoder on that. With ChatGPT being out, a lot of times I use ChatGPT to help me write these quick regular expressions. Helps me a lot with time efficiency, especially. So with this regular expression, you notice in the bottom, the output, it gets highlighted. There are a couple of features you could have, a couple of options you could add to the regular expression. So currently I have it set to highlight matches. And you can see here in the output, it's highlighted the code. Now, if I change the highlighted matches, and set it to list capture groups, it will capture the only the basics for in between those quotation double quotes. So this helps me narrow down and take it step by step to decode different parts, and then we'll combine a recipe that could help us decode the entire thing. So now the next thing would be subsection. Now that we have our regular expression, we'll use subsection, which will tell CyberChef, hey, you're splitting your operations, right? With subsection, you're telling it, grab this part of the text and perform base64 decoding. So with subsection, that will help. Now I'm going to include the base64 operation and paste in my regular expression. And you'll see in the code, the output, it got decoded. So now let's move on to the next one where there's in the notes. We want to decode this part of the text, the notes section. Well, we'll repeat the same step. Come up with a regular expression that will capture just that part. And again, we'll highlight it and we'll see that it got the notes. Change that to list capture group. And now we know that this regular expression works. So again, we'll add another subsection. And we'll add another operation of base64 decoding. From base64. Now you'll notice nothing has changed in the output. Now, depending on the format of your JSON object, sometimes you'll need to add another operation called merge, and other times you may not need it. What merge will do, it will combine two of those operations together. And you just simply look for the merge operation, you drag it and drop it in. So put it in between the subsection and base64. And you'll notice the notes has been decoded. So now we have our code and our notes decoded. And this is how you kind of get it going. Now I'm going to repeat the same process for the last time for the comments. I'm going to use regular expression to capture that part, just to confirm that we're using the right syntax, that we have a regular expression. And now I'm just going to add the subsection. Paste in the regular expression and add the from base 64. And the merge operation, just to make sure that it works all properly. And I'll get rid of the regular expressions because I won't need that anymore. And now we'll see the entire body or the JSON object decoded. Now, there's a feature where you could save these. You could save this recipe and reuse it later. It's right at the top next to recipe. Move it on to the next feature. You can download CyberChef just by clicking on the link at the top. Make sure you're downloading it from the official GitHub IO and not just any other web page that's hosting this. You simply just download it, and we'll run this locally on our computer. You open the zip file, and once you extract the contents of that zip file, you'll have the CyberChef HTML file. Just double click that, and it will load CyberChef on your browser. So basically you're using CyberChef locally. If you're ever worried about using sensitive information, you could just use this locally and it won't, just to be on the safer side. And see here, I'm just running a quick test to show you that it will work, but it's limited. So not all the functionality will work locally. Most of it will. For example, one second. So for example, the OCR feature will not work locally. You'll have to install CyberChef and have that feature. By installing the CyberChef server, you'll also have access to the API. You could set it a curl request and just have the API process your input. So moving on, I'm going to show you the OCR feature. And what the OCR feature does is you load a image, right? And let's say you want to capture the text in that image. I'm using this on their official site. You just upload the image and you'll notice the confidence level at the top. So right under output, if it's 85%, that's good. But still double check the text that it output for you, just to confirm that these changes are correct. If it's below 50, maybe the image is pixelated and it can't grab all the text. So always double check the OCR. But that's a really cool feature. That helps me a lot. And another useful feature is the extract URLs. Let's say you want to grab all the links on a site. What you do is you grab the page's source and you paste it into the input field. And what it will do here is grab all the links for you from that page. This is a feature I use often. And the last feature I'll show you is the QR operations. So you can parse a QR code and you can create one. Now this is useful, let's say if you're testing an application where it scans the QR code. Let's say you want to test the input for SQL injection. All you do is you can adjust the size and you just simply add your injection into the input field and it will generate that QR code for you. So for this, in this example, I'm using the SQL injection sleep. And once you add that into the input field, you just scan the QR code and test the app. Does it sleep for that many, that many seconds? This is a really cool feature too that may help you with web application testing. So those are all of the common features I use in my workflow almost daily, and I hope this helps you learn. I hope you learned something from this and get comfortable using it. It's a really awesome tool. Thank you for watching, and take care.